Alabama is 0-1. How many more games does Alabama lose? How many do they win? Let's do a after week 1 schedule prediction, all right? Look, they lost to Florida State. It's kind of the unthinkable, to be honest. I mean, you look at the fact that they were a 14.5-point favorite. ESPN had them as like 97%, whatever, winning. They go down to Doak Campbell, and they lose 31-17. All right, so Louisiana Monroe, you got to think that Alabama wins that game. Come on. So they win that game. Wisconsin, they got to win. They got to beat Wisconsin. That game is also at home. Kalen DeBoer, I get it. You can't play on the road, but he's undefeated at home. All right, so Alabama at this point, let's put him 2-1. All right, so we got 2-1. You got Alabama versus Georgia. All right, on the road. Okay, you have an extra week to prepare for this. Look, they lost to Vanderbilt on the road. They lost to Oklahoma on the road. They lost to Tallahassee on the road. You know what I'm saying? They lost to Tennessee on the road. They lost to Michigan in a bowl game that was away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Is this a thing? They've lost 5 games in the last 2 seasons. Are you feeling confident against Georgia? All right, so I change it now to 2-2 as I have them losing to Georgia on the road. Vanderbilt is coming to Tuscaloosa. I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is Diego Pavia is going to be talking, right? I mean, 100% he is. That's what Diego Pavia does. And a lot of people they're going to continue to bark at Alabama, plain and simple, because they feel that they can beat Alabama because they can challenge Kalen DeBoer and they can run the football at Alabama. Does Vanderbilt beat Alabama? Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to take Alabama as they are at home. So 3-1 at that point. They go to Missouri. Missouri has Pribula, right? Their quarterback who shined in week 1. They didn't really play anybody. Eli Drinkwitz. I think Alabama, you got to think that they win that road game. So I have them at 4-2 right now. Tennessee comes to Alabama, 3rd weekend of October. Do they beat Tennessee? Joey Aguilar is our quarterback, Josh Heupel. The last time they came over to Tuscaloosa, it was pretty close, back and forth. I'll take Alabama. 5-2, beating Tennessee. Do you agree with me? Sound off inside the comment box. Prior at this point in time, you're probably like, hell no, they lose to everybody. South Carolina, all right? I've been telling you, this is going to be a challenging game. We don't know if it's going to be a night game, day game. Doesn't matter. Lenore Sellers, look, I get it. Their defense isn't that salty. They lost a lot of guys, but I don't know. I think they'll lose to South Carolina. So got them at 5-3, an extra week now to prepare for LSU. Now, is this the first home game that Alabama loses under Coach Kalen DeBoer? Fam, look, you know me, Mr. Optimistic. I watched LSU play last night. Did you watch LSU and Clemson play? Yes or no inside the comment box. Do you honestly think that Alabama was better than Clemson or LSU? Honestly, based off the first game that you saw, teams can improve, things can change, right? Are they better than LSU? I don't think so. So LSU got them at 5-4 right now, okay? Got them at 5-4 going into this Oklahoma game. Look, I have no idea how good John Mateer is going to be. I think, this will be a hell of a game. This is going to be a challenging game. Brett Venables will have the defense. I have no idea. It's Alabama's homecoming. I'll take Alabama to beat Oklahoma. All right, I got them now at 6-4, and they're going to beat Eastern Illinois, right? And then they go down to the barn. Oh, my God. Look, as much as I want to say they win the Iron Bowl, the one thing that I've learned in my time covering the Alabama Crimson Tide is that going to the barn, all bets are off. The games fare better when they're here at Bryant-Denny, right? The barn is crazy. It's haunted. Jackson Arnold, that guy, he looked good against Baylor. They ran the football. Until Alabama proves that they can stop run fits, until Alabama proves that they can stop the run, until they can prove they can get quarterback pressure, man, at this point in time, I think going over there and seeing the two teams play against each other, or two teams play games in week 1, this is crazy, but I'm going to say Auburn. All right, so I got them right now, and that's a away game too. They're playing away. It's a long way. Maybe this video comes back to bite me, and maybe Alabama runs the table the rest of the season. Maybe Alabama wants to play this video in their locker room and make me, the villain, the pirate ship. But being realistic, this team, after what I saw yesterday, unfortunately, I had to say it, is a 7-5 team. That you're missing the playoffs, you're missing the SEC championship, you're playing in like the, I don't know, what bowl game is that? Is that like the Cheez-It Bowl or something like that? I have no idea. Things need to change. It starts up top. All the numbers that are coming out, like my buddy sent me this last night, and I couldn't believe it. These are some crazy numbers in statistics, right? I saw this posted yesterday. Kalen DeBoer, right, is now 9-5 at Alabama with losses to 4 unranked teams. Nick Saban didn't have losses to 4 unranked teams total in his 16 seasons as a Tides coach. Nick Saban coached 230 games at Alabama. He had 4 losses to unranked teams during that stretch. Kalen DeBoer has coached 14 games at Alabama and just lost his 4th game to an unranked opponent, right? Since 2007, in games when Alabama was favored by at least 14 points, Nick Saban was 131-2. Kalen DeBoer is 4-4. Somebody also pointed this out. They were like, yo, Kalen DeBoer in his last, 15 games is 9-6 as a head football coach. 9-6, right? If you date back to when they lost the title game against Michigan. There's a lot going on. I think the 4 easiest fingers to point up top, Coach Kalen DeBoer, right? And a lot of the philosophy that he has, just, is it working? Lose the first game of the season, clearly not. What were you doing all summer? Who was working harder, Florida State or Alabama, right? I think the second area is you point to the defensive coordinator's philosophy, right? With Kane Womack switching things around. Clearly, if you want to beat Alabama, I say it all the time, you run the ball at them, period. You're not going to go over the top. I still think the DBs are pretty good, but you're going to run the ball. All right, so Kane Womack is clearly a common denominator in this as well. The quarterback. Look, Ty Simpson has to play at a higher level, and so does the offensive line. I think Ty and the offensive line are kind of intertwined right now, and that's not making excuses for anybody. It's just, the guy faced a lot of pressure. He's got to be able, if that's going to be off Alabama's offensive line, he has to find a better way to be more accurate running around with the football. And he's an athlete, got to think he could do it, but sometimes when he was running around, he became far less accurate. And then I think third, you just got to think that, I would imagine like maybe the fourth thing is just the overall kind of brand of the team, right? How bad does this team want to get fired up to win the next game? Do they still have a national championship mentality? There's so many people that think, and they're starting to see it, that Alabama is completely fallen off. When's the last time you had somebody like Tommy C call out his shot against Alabama and make it happen? Diego Pavia, he was talking, made it happen. Brent Venables, after the game, said, we wanted to punch him in the mouth. We did that. Shane Beamer last year was like, we knew we'd have opportunities. Mike Norvell said last night that they were the aggressor. That is not the standard. That is not the brand. Hopefully that doesn't leak into this incredible recruiting class they have. Things can change. It's only week 1. This is a Sunday, maybe overreaction video. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. How many games, or how many games does Alabama win? How many games does Alabama lose? I want to hear from you inside the comment box. I guess right now, today, I have them at 7-5. Sound off inside the comment box, and I appreciate you guys.